Let's see if I'm alive. Am I live? Pull this up. Where is the? Where is it at? Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. Yes, I'm live now. I think. Testing 1 2 3. 1 2 3. Can I hear myself? Can I hear myself clearly? Yeah, I can hear myself. Okay, good. Okay. Hello, my viewers. Welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. Today we're discussing, of course, some NFL news. I'm trying to do more streams, at least about 2 weeks. This right here shouldn't be too long, about like a 20, 25 minutes I'm gonna be on here. Cause I'm not gonna stand up for an hour like that, but I might buy one of those high chairs you have where you just put it up like that. Cause I had a rising desk and go up and down and stuff, so I'll probably be on at least about once or twice a week on this channel live, and then I'll be doing maybe once a week again for Steelers Syndicate. So be on the lookout for that. But today I want to discuss the winners and losers, of course, of free agency, and I also want to dive into some of the, of course, you know, some of the Steelers stuff as well. As you guys know, the Aaron Rodgers stuff that's been happening. What's up? What's up, Jared and George? What's up? What's up? Welcome in. As you guys probably seen, of course, they said that Adam Schefter reported that Aaron Rodgers could be possibly maybe sitting out the whole year. As you guys know, Aaron Rodgers, he loved it. You know, he gonna love the attention a little bit, getting the attention. You know, people trying to see where he's gonna go, where he's gonna be at, and stuff. So they said Rodgers could sit out the whole year. Now, Aaron Rodgers, as you guys know, last year threw 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 3,800 passing yards, which is pretty solid numbers, pretty good numbers. But you know, for his standards, a little lower. His passer rating was lower and stuff. And some games he did lose. He turned the ball over a lot. But overall, I think he'll still be a solid, solid pickup if the Steelers was to go after him. But they didn't go after him. I wouldn't be mad either because I think Mason Rudolph is still solid and capable enough of getting the job done too. And also some quarterbacks in the draft, like the Jackson Darts, the Jalen Monroes, Shedeur Sanders. You never know what could happen. The Steelers decide to trade up, may make something happen. I did see a report that the Steelers love Jalen Monroe a lot, and they said they want to take him. They might take him in the first round. I don't think that'd be a wise choice because he could be there still second round, maybe third round. So you shouldn't jump the gun and take him first round. But I wouldn't mind him being on the team if it was a third round pick or late second round pick. But yeah, Jared. It's the Rodgers watch. The Rodgers watch. You know, Rodgers gonna find a way to get to the headlines every single time. He did it last time with the Packers before he went to the Jets, and now he's in the headlines again. Of course, he said the Steelers and the Giants was the two options, and the Vikings. The Vikings was out on him, but now it seems the Vikings might be back in the mix on Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is gonna be here in Pittsburgh. Is he gonna be somewhere else? I have no idea. But we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see if Rodgers decide to, come here, or decide to just retire, pull a Brett Favre, retire, and then come out of retirement. And as long as he don't rob nobody and take money from people welfare, other than that, he can pull the Brett Favre NFL career and just do the same thing. You start with the Packers, you go to the Jets, injury riddled, you retire, you come out of retirement, then you go to the Vikings, and then you retire, and you retire for good. So we'll see exactly what happens, of course, with Aaron Rodgers. But if he didn't sign with the Steelers, I would be okay with that because most likely the asking price for him is going to be around, about 21, 22, 23, $24 million, around that range. Of course, so you have to pay him that, 1-year deal and stuff. And you could lose a draft pick too because you signed to a 1-year deal. And they had a little thing where, like, if he signed somewhere else, you might can get a pick for him, or if he signed a 2-year deal. It depends on some stuff. I think the Steelers got some compensatory picks coming next year for Justin Fields signing somewhere else and Russell Wilson signing somewhere else. So we should get those picks. So we should see how things happen. Jalate was cooking pork chops. Pork chops. Fried pork chops or just regular pork chops. I don't eat pork, but I know I used to eat pork when I was younger like that. But fried pork chops used to be the stuff. Used to be the stuff when I was a little kid. I used to love that. I made pork in years. It used to be good, though. It used to be real good. But yeah, I don't know if Rodgers is going to be here or not, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if Rodgers come here. But the Steelers should not take Jalen Monroe in the first round. Jalen Monroe got a lot of potential. Like I mentioned before, he's a project pick, but kind of like Josh Allen a little bit when Josh Allen came out of Wyoming, and kind of like how Richardson is right now with the Colts. They both project picks. Josh Allen turned out to be an MVP. He started off a little shaky first few years in the league. Got Brian Daboll paired up with him, helped him out a lot offensively, and now he's an MVP. You look at Anthony Richardson. He's very cool. He got the 6'5" frame, 240-pound as well, strong arm as well, dual threat, but he can't stay healthy. He's been inconsistent. He had moments where he flashed and looked very good. He also had moments where he looked horrible as well. So it's kind of like back and forth a little bit. So we got to see kind of like if he's going to develop into what he needs to be. But Jalen Moreau is kind of like in that sense a little bit a project pick. It's like is he going to thrive, become a Josh Allen type? Or is he going to maybe fall down and be like a Richardson or Trey Lance? Trey Lance is only 24 years old. 24 years old, and he's a free agent still. Trey Lance is a guy who's the 49ers traded up in the draft to get him from North Dakota State. He only played 1 year because that COVID season thing that happened, so he didn't get a chance to play that other year. He only played 1 year in college and looked pretty good. He's 6'5", a strong arm, and now he's a free agent. He's 24 years old, so you can possibly see things like that happen many times, and they get to the wrong situation or things don't work out. For him, he was with the 49ers, so he had all these different weapons and everything around him, and you got Kyle Shanahan calling the plays. You can't get it to work out there. Again, I don't know what to tell you a little bit, so we'll see what happens with that. I can never quit Bacon. Bacon will never quit you. See, the Will Howard talk needs to stop. Yes, Will Howard, he's all right, but they should not draft him at all. Because I mentioned that last time. Cause I think somebody on Steeler Syndicate, one of the people in the comment section was like, "Oh, why you don't like Will Howard for? I think he's better than Jalen Moreau. Like Jalen Moreau might have had a down year last year, but his potential and his ceiling is way higher than Will Howard. Will Howard is limited. It'd be like he's a limited player. I don't think he's like anything that's super game changer. He could maybe prove us all wrong, maybe, you never know. But as of like what I'm seeing from him, like, you know, for him being in college and seeing for him like now and stuff, he's all right. He's not like a Jackson Dart or Jalen Moreau. I think they got more talent than him overall. You can get more out of them, and then Will Howard will get you. Will Howard will probably be a 4th or 5th round pick, but I wouldn't want the Steelers to like bet their money on that. That wouldn't be too good. That would not be too good. So we'll dive into some of the where is it? Yeah, my winners and losers. Winners and losers of free agency. We'll dive into some of that too. As you guys know, we've seen the Stephon Diggs get signed to the he got signed to the Patriots on a good deal. Patriots also got Milton Williams as well, and they got a high picking as well in the draft. They probably can take Travis Hunter to add him to the roster. So the Patriots are definitely winners of free agency. They've been doing a very good job in free agency, going out there, making moves, signing people, and bringing people in to help the defense out, the offense out. So they're definitely a top winner in free agency. Also, the Commanders. I'm still surprised the Texans traded Larry Tunsil to the Commanders. I'm surprised by that. I'm like, why you trade a guy who's like in the midst of his prime, who's doing a very good job as your tackle? You trade him away for trade him away for a little bit. You didn't really get a lot back fully. I don't know if like he wanted to get traded or not, but they traded him away. That was a little crazy move. So now he's with the Commanders. Commanders also got Deebo Samuel. They still brought back Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner back as well with Terry McLaurin. They got a nice roster as well, so they're going to be a good roster too. You look at the Vikings, another winner as well. The Vikings added, of course, Byron Murphy. They went out there, got Jalen Hargrave, brought Aaron Jones back, added those pieces. They signed their center to a 2-year extension as well. They kind of went out mode as well. So those like a lot of winners that have been happening around, of course, the league. And the losers of the league, you look at, of course, I'll probably say the Cowboys is the main one. That's the main one. I'm giving to them. Let me see the comments real fast. Either Rodgers, Rudolph, draft pick, or Flacco. Yep, it might be the last one, Jared. I think Rudolph, draft pick, maybe Flacco too as well. I think Flacco might could be there because the draft pick could probably be the 3rd quarterback, like develop, and then you have Rudolph first, and then Flacco second, then the draft pick kind of learning and stuff. You see, I like Tyleik Williams, right? The defensive lineman from Ohio State. He's pretty good too. He's a guy who is versatile piece. He can stop the run, and he's good at pass rushing too. So he got kind of balance of both. I feel like he still hasn't reached his ceiling yet. He has a lot of things to still learn as well, and a lot of potential left. I think he's like 22. He's a little on the younger side of things, so I wouldn't mind him either. Like that, the Steelers could probably take him maybe 1st round, 2nd round. I know Kenneth Grant might be probably the top person on the list. Derek Harmon, and then Tyleik Williams probably on there too as well. Walter Nolan, those guys probably the guys the Steelers should look for D linemen. But what was I saying? I was saying about somebody. Oh yeah, the Cowboys. The Cowboys are definitely losers in free agency. They really do anything too much. They brought in Javonte Williams, the running back, Miles Sanders on a 1-year deal, but they didn't really go out there and add and address the needs, the top needs. You know, the O-line is still a little shaky. Of course, as you guys know, they kind of held on to a lot of those guys too long, and then eventually those guys got injured and started retiring and left, and they built the O-line up. They had to start like 3 rookies last year. And then you look at, of course, their receiver room. You got CeeDee Lamb, but you lost Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks wasn't really playing as well with the Cowboys, but you did still lose him, though. So now you got CeeDee Lamb there. You need to add another receiver, too. I thought Devontae Adams would be the perfect receiver for them. or DK Metcalf, but they not pursue that. And we know Jerry Jones is kind of like stagnant and stuff. He's not going to really do a lot in free agency. And hopefully they can draft somebody and bring somebody else in. But they're definitely probably the biggest loser so far in free agency. The Texans, a little bit because they lost Stephon Diggs and you trade away Larry Tunsil. You did bring back, of course, you got Tank Dell and, of course, Nico Collins. You brought in Christian Kirk, which is cool, too, as well. He came off from an injury, so we'll see how you look and stuff. But you did lose a big key piece right there, 2 big key pieces. So we'll see how they still kind of like going off. Because they tried to go all in last year, and C.J. Stroud didn't play the best football. He still played pretty good, but not the best football like his rookie season, so they kind of like fell a little short. But we'll see what happens with them. The Browns are a loser, too, as well. I think. They re-signed Myles Garrett, but the quarterback situation is still very shaky. You brought Kenny Pickett in. We'll see if they draft a quarterback. So what's up right now? I think they're part of the losers still as well in free agency because they really didn't do a lot in free agency like that. So we'll see what happens. The Bengals are kind of limbo. Steelers, I would say limbo as well. Like kind of Bengals and Steelers are both limbo because they did some good things, but they did lose some key pieces. The Steelers, of course, Justin Fields, they let him go like that. They probably should have kept him around, and the quarterback situation would have been kind of solved a little bit more. Not fully solved, but at least solved temporarily like that for the next 2 years. Unless Justin Fields turned out to be very good, then you might have had him for a long run, of course. So they try to pursue Aaron Rodgers, a veteran who's 42 years old, who's a little past his prime. Well, not a little past his prime, very much past his prime. Trying to pursue him, and they kind of lost Justin Fields. That kind of hurt them a little bit. But getting DK Metcalf to add with GP was a big time move. That's why I can't put them. I put them kind of like in the limbo on the winning side, the low winning side a little bit, because bringing that in is nice. And Darius Slay, bringing a veteran like that in for the secondary is very good too. With Nichols as well, adding the depth too as well. They still didn't bring a D lineman in fully. They had some depth pieces, but they still got to bring in some more guys. They probably draft some guys. And then a running back, they brought Kenneth Gainwell in, re-signed Jalen Warren. They probably bring in most likely a running back from the draft, Cam Scatterbo. Amari Hampton might be a first-round pick. He might fall to second round, but most likely first-round pick. Or Ollie Gordon or somebody. DJ Giddens, they'd be somebody in the draft they'd probably bring in. We'll kind of see exactly who they kind of go with. I think the Bengals, they are winners and losers kind of having a limbo as well because you brought back Jamar Chase, yes, which is great. T. Higgins, yes, which is great as well. But Trey Henderson, you got to lose him. Your best defensive player. The defense is already bad. But then you bring a guy like Trey Henderson off your team, you're going to look real bad as well. You lost some pieces of defense already, but you're losing your best defensive player. The man has 17 sacks the past 2 years straight. I think you're losing a guy like that who's very dominant on the line. You're losing him, and you bring in some, of course, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins was very good, but you're losing a big key piece. They got to find a way to figure something out. I don't know if they can do it and pull it off, maybe restructure somebody's contract or do something, but you got to keep a guy like that on your team. But they got to trade him away. They better hope they can get a lot of things from him, like at least a first rounder or something, and some picks from him or something like for him, because he's a very good player. He's in the midst of his prime, and you're gonna lose him as well. And when the defense is already bad, they're gonna be very difficult and tough. So it's kind of like both sides a little bit. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens fully with everything. But those kind of like the winners and losers I had for most of the free agency like that. Still a lot of things happening. The Raiders made a few moves with Geno Smith, adding him. Pete Carroll coming back as well. They might make another move because Chris McCaffrey was in reports that the 49ers could trade him to the Raiders. The 49ers might as well trade him because the 49ers have lost a lot of people. You lost Hufanga. You lost Greenlaw as well. You lost Deebo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk had tore his ACL, so I don't know if he's going to be back to start the season off. Brock Purdy, you got to pay him as well, too. This is last year's deal coming up. And then, of course, you look at Christian McCaffrey. He missed almost all last year, and you're not in win-now mode anymore. Now you're kind of like in the state of like, you can be competitive, but you don't know because you're kind of a little shaky. You lost a lot of key pieces. So you could trade Chris McCaffrey while his name is still hot. Trade him away to the Raiders, get some picks, build the team back up and see what happens. But we'll see what the 49ers do. They traded away Jordan Mason already, so they could be gearing up for that, but we don't know. It says trading GP for a second-round pick is still an option too. Could get Emeka Egbuka in the first if that happened. If that was to happen, they said they lost Ward too. Yeah, they lost CJ Ward. They lost CJ Ward, Hufanga, Greenlaw, Deebo. They lost a lot of people. They lost a lot of key pieces that helped them get to the Super Bowl a few years back. They lost them all. Yeah, I forgot about TJ Ward. They did lose him. So yeah, so trade GP will be very interesting because I think people mentioned that last time. They said the Steelers should trade GP for a second-round pick and then use that pick to flip it. I remember at first people were saying for Garrett Wilson. That would have been cool, but Garrett Wilson, now with the way the Jets got things set up, they're not going to trade Garrett Wilson away now. But you could get a second-round pick from that And like you said, Emeka Egbuka, that speedster, dynamic playmaker from Ohio State who can make things happen, true deep threat, will be amazing to add to the team with DK Metcalf. They complement each other perfectly. You have a physical specimen on one side, you have a speedster on the other side, while having Calvin Austin as well, who's a top guy too, who's top 10 in yards per reception as well last year. So that'd be cool. I would love to keep GP, but if it comes to that where the Steelers like saying, you know what, we could pay GP this money, or we could trade him away and add somebody else, that could still happen like that. So yeah, that can be a possibility. Oh, Shavarius Ward. Okay, Shavarius Ward. Yeah, that can be a possible possibility though. But I'm trying to see who'll be a receiver right now that the Steelers could. They more likely they did trade GP away. They probably just go with the draft to get somebody. I know Emeka Egbuka, Luther Burden. That's a good one too. You know, he's play style. His play style is very good. He can run routes, play inside, play outside. He's like a Antonio Brown type. I'm not saying he's Antonio Brown, but he's like Antonio Brown type of playmaker, like that type of style, play style he has, like that. A guy who's moving the sticks, a guy who's constantly open all the time. So he might be gone though before then, but those are probably the top two guys you can probably bring in. But Emeka Egbuka would probably be the best option because of his deep threat ability, and we haven't had a deep threat person like that in a while. Calvin Austin did his thing, of course, here and there, making big time plays on the field, but we need somebody who's consistently open. Roman Wilson is still here too, of course, but we haven't seen him play. He played 3 snaps for the Raiders. Against the Raiders. It was that week 6. We played the Raiders when we blew them out. That's the last time we've seen Roman Wilson, and the only time we've seen him, and he didn't really play the rest of the season. So we'll see if he comes back. If he emerges to be at least solid, give you like 800 yards or something like that, with DK Metcalf doing what he's doing, you might could say, GP. I don't know if the NFL do that too often, but I know sometimes like they do like the little exclusive tag where they put the exclusive tag on the person, and then they'll see if somebody else want to get them and trade a pick for them to get them to match the contract. I know the NBA they do the sign and trade. So they'll see a guy who maybe want to leave. You do a sign and trade, so you sign them for the contract the other team agrees with, and then you do a trade with it. So you could possibly do that with the exclusive tag. Put that on them, and then say, you know what? Who wants to trade for GP? There'd be a lot of teams that'd be willing to do it probably. I think the Raiders would probably be a team that would love to do it. They already got burned a few times by the Steelers at that, but they probably do it again. Martavis Bryant burnt them. Antonio Brown burnt them a lot actually. He messed himself up with that. And then GP, he probably do a good job with the Raiders. I think he'd be pretty good there, but we'll see if they decide to trade him or not. So I'm hoping for Williams, Grant, or Harmon in the first. A big body to take up multiple blockers. Yeah, that'd be great. I think Kenneth Grant, it could be a possibility the Steelers do decide to say, you know what? They see Jalen Moreau or one of the quarterbacks they like fall down, like till they say, okay, these guys are falling down to the 3rd round. They could go D lineman, like I did in the mock draft a few times. I think I went Kenneth Grant, and then I went Tyleik Williams, and then I went, of course, running back, and then I went to my other stuff like that too as well. So they could do that, like D lineman, skill position, or quarterback, I think, in that 3rd round and see what happens too, because you have a big body up front. Because Cam Hayward is still playing very good football. A lot of people were saying they shouldn't pay Cam Hayward the money, but as you see, he was all pro level last year. He played very well, but he's still getting a little older. He's on the near end of his career, about to retire. So you want to have those pieces in play. So you add a top guy in the draft with Cam Hayward, with Keanu Benton, all together like that, kind of mix some things up. I think that helped out a lot too. So we'll see if they can go out there and do that. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I can't wait to the draft. I got my draft video. I'm going to record that probably in a little bit. I can't wait to the draft, though. Can't wait to the draft actually happen. I'm going to definitely doing a live stream for the first round. Probably all rounds, most likely. Like that is watching the draft and stuff. Just doing that. So that should be very interesting to see what happens. But yes, exactly, Jerry. Yeah, correct. We need dudes to learn Captain Cam. Because Cam Hayward, he needs to win a championship at least once. At least one championship. He embodies what the Steelers is all about. A guy who's just go out there, hard work, hard nose, playing for the team. Don't want to go out there and do any nonsense, just locked in 24/7. So hopefully we can get a championship for him. I don't know if it's going to be this year or not. I don't know if it may be the year after and stuff. The Steelers are on the right direction. I know people saying the Steelers are looking bad. They should do this and do that and stuff. Like, they got to fire Coach Tomlin. They got to fire Omar Khan. Like I told people many times, firing the coach, GM, or anything like that, not going to change anything. The main thing the Steelers have struggled with is the quarterback position. We had Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph. You got Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. You had 5 different quarterbacks since Big Ben retired. Like that. That's the main thing that's going on. And Coach Tomlin, greatness, and the TJ Watt and the Cam Haywards, the Minkas, GP, Najee's, all the guys who was playing, their greatness was able to overcome the bad quarterback play or the average quarterback play that was not up to par and stuff, some of those games. So the only thing that still was missing really is the quarterback position. It's hard to find a quarterback position as well. Like right now we got Mr. Rudolph, who's solid, but I don't know if he's the full long-term answer. He's probably just a bridge player for now. In the draft, you got a lot of guys who potentially could be the next game-changing piece for you. Like that, if you go out there and make the right decision and develop them right. So we have to see exactly what happens. We've seen the Commanders hit on a guy and Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was the third pick of the draft, third, fourth pick of the draft like that. Commanders brought him in, and he did very good. The Commanders team was all right. They had Austin Eckler, Terry McLaurin. They already have a receiver too. They had Noah Brown and a different collective group of guys out there with an older Zach Ertz and stuff. And what happened? They still went out there and got it done and got all the way to the NFC Championship game because you had a quarterback position. Andrew Luck did it with the Colts as well. So sometimes you can go out there and get that guy who is just a piece in the front. One of the most important pieces in football. You bring that guy in, it can change a lot. So I feel like changing the coach is not going to change anything. If we change the coach out, we're going to be worse. We're not going to be winning because Coach Tomlin and what this team represent bring out the greatness and help us win those games like that and stay competitive. Even if we lose those playoff games, we still stay competitive to get there. I'd rather be in the playoffs losing than be at home and be in like the 2-4 record. People saying, well, the Browns, they lost a lot of games. They got a first pick, but the first picks don't really work out sometimes. Look at the Browns. They got Myles Garrett, but they still don't have a quarterback. All those losing seasons and all those firing of coaches and trying to find a coach, they still down bad. So I'd rather be in the position we are now than try to hope and pray that we can win a few games or hit on one of these top draft pick quarterbacks to bring in and change our lives. So I'd rather be in this position right here. Just be in this position, win, stay competitive, and hope one day a guy comes to us or we can develop a guy to be a game changer for us. So the last draft in the return. Yeah, tomorrow, the last draft in the return. I have another skit for tomorrow too. Me and my cousin gonna do a skit this time like that. So I have another skit for that tomorrow. It's LeBron to the Steelers for the win. LeBron QB1, Bronny running back 2. LeBron stuff is funny though. Stephen A. Smith, he got to stop. I'm gonna talk about that probably on my NBA review on Sunday. But Stephen A. Smith got to stop. He's talking so if LeBron would have came to me trying to fight, I would have swung on him immediately. I'm like, Stephen A. You got a bad shoulder. And you're 58 years old. I don't think Stephen A. Smith can beat up Skip Bayless, let alone LeBron. He said he's going to swing on LeBron. I'm like, I don't know if that's going to happen. And if that was to happen, I don't know if it's going to work out too well for you, Stephen A. I don't know if that's going to work out too well. He said I would have swung on him immediately. and just set that up. Stephen A. versus LeBron James. No hold bar. Unsanctioned match. Unsanctioned, no hold bar. Anything goes, lights out, we're going to call it. Stephen A. versus LeBron James. At WrestleMania, All In, anything. Pick one. That'd be funny. that was the most craziest thing I've seen. He said I would have swung on LeBron. I'm like, come on, Stephen A. Every time Stephen A. talks about Bron, his hairline moves back a few centimeters. It seemed like it. He said, I want to make a big scene. I work for Disney. And then after the day ends, he go on the live television. I don't want to talk about it. But then you go on tour. You went to the Give Arenas podcast. You went on to all these different shows, NBA networks and stuff, talking about the LeBron situation and stuff, saying, I wanted to say something back to him. I wanted to check him. Like, come on, Stephen A. If you want to say something to him, you could have said it to him right there in his face when he approached you at the game. Like that. I'm like, you could have said something. Like Stephen A. just all talk. So when does Shaq Fu come into that? The Shaq Fu. Shaq might have had some of the worst movies ever. Some of the movies was was a little crazy. What's that one movie he had? The Shaq-Zam or something. What's that movie called? It was like Shaq-Zam or something. I don't know. One time he played that DC character. He played what's his name? It was somebody. What's the name of that movie that Shaq was in? He played a DC character, I think it was Steel. Yeah, Steel. That was that one character. Yeah, Steel. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Steel. Yeah, the DC character he played. It was all right. And, the Kazam. The Kazam was all right, but some of these Shaq movies was bad. Like some of these movies he had was like a little shaky, like that. I guess that they never let him be anybody else. They want him to be Shaq like everywhere instead of being like he portraying an actor or something like that. He just being Shaq in every movie. Kind of like Jason Statham. Jason Statham. All his movies are the same. They're good movies. I'm gonna go see the movie too on Friday. I think it's The The Working Man. It looked good too as well. All the movies are good, but they all the same. He either be like some construction worker who has a military background. He comes out there, got to save the world. The Beekeeper was a good movie, but it's the same concept. He's working for this lady. They did something with her money. They took the money. They go find the people who took the money for her and did the scam and scheme. And he was a secret agent. Had a background of that and went out there and had to stop some stuff. So all the movies are kind of similar, but they're always good though. They're always good every time. I just they don't play the same character in every movie, but it's good. It still works for him though. It works for him. It's like Shaq learned acting from Hulk Hogan. Yeah, it seems like you play the same. You play yourself in every movie, just being tall and saying one-liners here and there, and like yeah, like that doesn't work out too long. I know The Rock do that a little bit. The Rock, he's an alright actor. You know, he played the same character in every movie, but some of his movies been a little shaky lately. The Moana 2 was the only one that had like success, but besides that, a lot of them was a little shaky like that. Christmas one he did, and what's the other one he did too? I think it's something else he did. The Christmas one, it was something else before that. I know he got a movie coming out. I don't know if that already came out. Now he's going to be playing an MMA person, like a biopic. So I have to see how that one is. I don't know if that's out yet, but some of the movie a little shaky. Did Jason Bateman play the same character? Yep. It might be a Jason thing. It might be a Jason thing. But most people make it work out though. They like be the same character, just find roles that look good, and then they comfortable in playing like the action hero or something, and they be like, hey, I'm gonna roll with it every time. I'm gonna roll with it. Like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart played the same character in every film as well. He just be himself, but it might be like a little bit of this or that, or just being a comedic relief and mixing it up. Yeah, but it's kind of basically what all I have for today. All I have for today's video right here. I'm going to go film the mock draft. So that'll be out probably like at 7 o'clock tomorrow. That'll be out then. I got a Steelers video too that's about to come out probably at 6:30 or something like that. I'm going to be discussing on a scale of 1 to 10 how you guys feel about the Steelers roster so far. So that'll be the next video to come out today. So go look out for that. But yeah, thank you guys for joining in. And coming out and showing love like that. I'm trying to do live streams at least twice a week on this channel, and on Steelers Syndicate at least once a week as well. So if I don't do it, just let me know. I'm trying to at least do it like that. I'm trying to be like Corey Kenshin. Corey Kenshin, he came back yesterday, but he made a lot of videos, and then he disappeared. But his videos are going crazy. You know, he make a video and get 20 million views in one day. Corey Kenshin is like that. He's the top of the top, like a YouTube legend like that. But I'm trying to stay consistent with the live stream. So yeah, but thank you guys for joining in. Peace out, Jared, Gene, George, all you guys. Peace out. I'll see you guys in a little bit on my video I'm about to upload right now. Peace.